Hey there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter, and today I'm going to show you how you can scrapbook using ribbons and ruffles and glitter and still keep it looking manly. Yes, we're going to do some manly scrapbook pages, and look, there's a ruffle, there's glittery words, there's a cool frame that I'm going to show you how to do that really cool technique too. So lots of really great scrapbooking techniques to scrapbook the boys in your life. Today's video is brought to you by Paper Mart. Check them out online at www.papermart.com where you can find the cool fabric and ribbon and glitter that I used. It's so much fun to shop there because they've got lots of great stuff at the best prices. So this is going to be a lot of techniques. It's going to be a long video, so let's get to the table and get cracking. Woo! Okay, let's get working on that scrapbook page. The first thing you're going to want is your shimmer spray, and I showed you how to make this stuff in a video a couple weeks ago. I've got kind of a bronzy brown here. I'm just spraying a piece of 2" by 11" cardstock, and you will need 4 to make a frame. Now, you'll need something to texturize this with. You can use an embossing folder, a texture plate, or I get a homemade embossing plate I'm going to use. And since this is one-sided, I'm going to need to put that with a little bit of squishy material, and I'll be using a plumber's gasket from the hardware store. Basically, it's just a sheet of rubber. So what you do is you lay your paper on the texture plate, and then you want to put this paper side down on top of your rubber material. And then I've got it in between my plexiglass plates here. I'm going to make sure I've got that lined up good. And then in through my Big Shot it will go. You could use any sort of manual die cutter for this, Cuttlebug, Revolution, whatever you have, it's going to work out just fine. Just, you know, might need to alter your plates for the type of machine that you are using. Alright, we'll set that aside and we will open it up to see what we have. Got some nice wood grain there. And the folds in there will actually kind of look like wood paneling, which will be, or planks, which is kind of what I'm going for. So what I'm doing here is just inking it up with some caramel ink. And I'm also going to go over it with a little bit of pumpkin colored ink. And that's just going to give me kind of a nice warm weathered wood look. Now, you want to let this dry and then go on to the next step. So what I've done here is I cut a paper frame just out of a piece of white cardstock, and just make it the size that you want your frame to be, and then you just want to cut a rectangle out of the middle, so you just have a little bit of a border that you can glue onto. My border is 1.5 inch wide, 1.5 inch wide, and my border, my actual pieces here are 2 inches that we cut before. So what I have here is a piece of dry faux wood. And to make the this last piece, so basically you glue your 11" strips down just plain, you don't need to miter them. And then for the mitered edges, you just need to miter the sides. So first just cut your paper the same length. And then to make a nice 45-degree miter, all you need to do is fold your paper down at a 45-degree angle on each side and just cut on that fold. It's very easy, and you'll get a perfect miter each time. And if it's not perfect, that's fine too, because it's going to look like a real old frame. And that's what we're going for here. And after you give this a little trim, you just want to go over it again with your ink. Give it a little more definition on those corners. Don't try to make it perfect, because you don't want it to be perfect. You want to use a little hot glue. I like hot glue because it will hold this warped paper really well. And then just try to line it up as well as you can and press it down to secure. Now I thought, as an afterthought, I thought, boy, these brads would be really nice. I think I'd like to add a couple of those. So basically all you need to do is use a heavy duty hole punch, or just like a sewing pin or something, and just poke some holes, and then you can put your brads right in there. And I did do that on my first scrapbook page that I showed you at the beginning of this video. It's kind of an afterthought, but I thought that I would share that with you anyway, just because it's kind of a fun extra touch that you can add. I'm not going to put them all in, because that will just take extra time, but just to give you the idea. There you go, and just fold the prongs back. You could get brads at the office supply store and just paint them with like nail polish or acrylic paint. That would work just fine. You don't have to go buy the colored ones if you don't want to. Alright, now we're going to add a nice little decoration, and what I have here is leftover decoration mesh. It's just like you'd use it for making centerpieces or gift wrap, and it's like a blue and gold color. It's actually called turquoise and gold, but I thought that the blue was perfect for blue and gold banquet scrapbooking and decorations. So this is actually called turquoise and gold if you're looking to pick up a roll of it. And I love the texture and sparkle that it gives. And I'm just going to cut this. You need basically a 2-inch to 4-inch strip maybe, just so you have a little more wiggle room. And you can trim it off if it ends up being too long for your scrapbook page. So what you basically want to do is scrunch it up and then stick it along the bottom of your frame. So put a little glue down. It's going to dry on you, so you don't want too much. Just enough to get you through the first bit of ruffle. Just scrunch and stick as you go. I'm using a low temperature gun so I don't burn my hands off. I don't want anyone to burn their hands off here. Let's be safe, folks. Got a couple other strips I've already cut. I'm going to put a little more glue there because it dried on me. That's a thing with a low temperature glue. It does tend to dry on you. I'm going to give this a little trim when I'm done, so I'm not worried that some of this might not be even on the bottom. That's so easy to trim up. My last piece of stuff here. Try to tuck any of the raw edges under. And then I can just give that a snip. Now when I flip it over, actually that doesn't look too bad, but any of the pieces that are hanging a little low, I will just trim. And look, you have a ruffle and it's still very masculine and it'll look great on a scrapbook page for Boy Scouts or camping or whatever. And if you have any hanging in there, then you can either fold it back and glue it down, or you can just simply trim it from the back side. So there you go. There is the frame that we will have on our first scrapbook page. Not too shabby. Of course, I put a few more brads in there, but you get the gist. Now, another quick tip I want to share with you is when you're doing a scrapbook page and you want to add a space for more photos, maybe some hidden journaling, try making a little folder. This I simply made out of cardstock, and I put a couple pieces of half cardstock together, folded them, tied them with a little baker's twine, and tied that into this folder. So it's just a little place I can add a few extra things and tuck it on my scrapbook page, but you know, not have it in plain view. Now the next thing I want to share with you is how to make some ribbon corners. And this is a great treatment for a card or a scrapbook page, and depending on the colors and ribbons you use, it can look masculine or feminine. So what I'm using here is a roll of camo ribbon. It's 1.5 inches wide, and it's a satin material, and it's printed beautifully on both sides, which is nice. You need about a 6-inch piece. You'll need 4 of them if you're going to do one in every corner. And this is such an easy technique, but it adds such a lovely touch. So basically what you want to do is put a dab of glue down and lay your ribbon so that it goes right up to the corner. You can almost even see just a little touch of that corner. See right there, you can kind of see that little bit of corner sticking out. You want it right up to the edge there. And you want to do that for every corner. So just a little dab of glue. This ribbon is nice. It's really supple and soft and easy to work with, but it's thick enough that my glue is not showing through, which is really nice, because sometimes it's hard to adhere glue without it like seeping through the ribbon and showing. Glue this last one down here, and then we're going to flip the whole thing over, and I'll show you how to finish the back. Alright, so we got a little bit of glue on the back so that we can catch both ends. We're just going to pull those in like that, and do that for every corner. And when we flip it over, you will see how pretty that looks. Try to get those ribbon ends to match up, and you'll get a really nice look on the front. Because this is going to go on a scrapbook page, page protector, I want to make sure that it's going to fit in my photo sleeve. So if you find that your ribbon's really thick, you may have to chop down your page a little bit beforehand to allow for the extra room the ribbon's going to take. Now, isn't that a pretty technique? Alright, now let's take a look at both of the scrapbook pages. They are very well suited for any camping or scouting event. I used some glitter, some paper mark glitter on some chipboard letters to make it kind of match and be a little blingy, and on the little frame there. It's just some really fun techniques you can use on any scrapbook page, even if they are boy pages. I want to thank you so much for watching today. I want to thank Paper Mart for sponsoring our video. Check them out online at www.papermart.com, where we make you look even better. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy crafting.